Hello. I'm going to show you how to optimize maps. First, you open the Uber machine map in Blender. Select one during the day. Pick your Blender version. I suggest 4.3 since that's what I use. Once open, it should look like this. Now you select the third view mode. This shows the textures in the scene. It can take a while with big maps. To get out of the camera view, just press the middle mouse button to move the camera manually. Use the middle mouse button and this hand button to move around the scene. You do not need the camera or lighting since those are removed once imported to Roblox.
Uber Machine separates some models and things in different collection folders. Optimizing can take some time, so it's better to go through it collection by collection, instead of just selecting objects you see.
The grass doesn't look good in Roblox and takes up a lot of polygons, which are triangle faces. Roblox limits it to 2 OK polygons per model. Select the statistics button like I do. This shows the polygon count. Faces and triangles are polygons and they mean the same thing. There are 804 polygons with just this one single patch of grass. Press Shift and L and this menu will open. Select Material. This selects all models with the same texture. As you can see, there are over 1 million polygons. This won't be able to import to Roblox at all since it's so high. So for this grass, we just delete it. I also deleted these patches of grass since they looked weird without the other grass. Now that we have cleared that up, we can now start optimizing objects. When you do this, I suggest going through a collection folder at a time and doing object by object, that way you know which objects you have optimized and which ones you need to optimize. When you select an object, the material or texture menu will show what texture is used for that object. In the case that your object has 2 or more textures, you must do this. Shift and L and Material selects all models with that texture. Control and J joins them all together as one. Roblox only allow one texture per object. So to make the model only have one texture, we must separate the model by texture in edit mode.
Press A to select all parts of the models.
Now you right-click and go to Separate. Separate it by material. After that, you exit edit mode and go back to object mode. Now the object is 2 separate objects with only one texture. The polygons for the wood is only 2,000. That's perfect. But the metal is 40,000, which is bad. Press the little wrench, which is the modifiers tab. To fix this, you have to add a decimate modifier. You can search for it. Roblox only allows up to 20,000 per model. So to go from 40,000 to 20, you must drag this bar that says 1.000 until the polygon shows under 20,000. Once it is in the 19,000s, it's perfect.
And then you continue to do that for other objects.
One issue you might run into is objects with the same textures removing the texture from some objects. Like when I highlight all objects using the grass texture. Once I join them together, these ones lose the texture. To combat this, join them one by one. If joining one to the other makes the textures disappear, just undo it and skip that model. Like this model with this one. As you can see, the texture is fine when they join. But if you join this one, the texture is removed from the others. Just let the one be and skip it. For stuff like bushes and trees, there are 2 ways of making them optimized. If when all bushes are joined together, the polygon count is under 100,000. Usually you can just decimate them. For a reminder, that is in the wrench icon. You add a modifier and search for decimate. Then you drag the bar down until the polygon count is in the 1900s. As you can see, the bush doesn't look that bad. When the models have over 100,000 polygons, usually decimating them causes holes and splits which look bad. For example, these trees. When you highlight all models using this texture and join them together, the polygon count is well over 100,000. To combat this issue, I decimate the trees until the polygon count is at around 80 to 60,000. That way, it can be split into 4 or 3 separate models. Trees are very important, so unlike the grass, we can't just delete them. The more polygons there are, the longer it'll take to get to 80 or 60,000. Now, if the model has a lot of holes and splits at 80,000, then you should stop there. But if it doesn't look terrible, you can go down to 60 or even sometimes 40,000. The trees only have a few tiny splits in the mesh, so I'm going to go down to 60,000. Once it is decimated to the point you'd like, you now move the camera to be able to see all of the trees. Once you see all of them in your view, you want to go into edit mode. Press this view button. This makes textures and faces disappear so that you can only see all of the wiring. This lets you select all parts of the model. You can highlight certain chunks of the trees at a time. As you can see, when you highlight a certain chunk, it shows that you are highlighting 100,000 of the 300,000 polygons. It's not actually 3,000, it just says that. It's actually 60. So when you highlight 100,000 of the 3, you are actually highlighting 20,000. There are 3 groups of 20 and 60. So you want to separate the trees into 3 equal parts. Out of 380,000, you want to select around 125,000. So highlight chunks of the 3s until it says that. You don't have to be exact, just as long as you are around that amount. Once you highlighted 1/3 of the trees, you can now right-click and separate by selection. This separates the orange highlights part of the trees as one object. The polygon count of the selection is around 20,000. We will decimate it a little bit more to be 19,000 after. Now you select another part of the model. Now it says 250,000. You only need 2 more models. So if you split that in half, you should be good. So grab 125,000. Separate by selection. And now you should have 3 parts of around 20,000 polygons. Since there are 2 over 20,000, all you have to do is decimate them a little bit until it's 19,000. You can even edit the numbers by clicking it once. I do this if I'm only a few hundred away from 19. Once you do this and all parts are 19,000, you can move on to the next. Just make sure that they are not over 20,000 or Roblox won't accept the model. I highly suggest starting with the first collection folder, that way you can know where you were working on. The amount looks intimidating, but most objects are duplicates. So these 400 models might be more like 50 to 100 once joined. I recommend playing music you like while doing this since it can be tedious and time-consuming. I also recommend that you press File and save the Blender workspace just in case you crash. That way your project is saved. You also don't have to finish it in one sitting. Just a reminder that when an object has two of the same textures, just join them, and in edit mode separate them by material. Make sure you press A in edit mode to select everything. And there you have it. That is pretty much all there is to optimizing the maps. If you need any help, just ask. Have a good day.